It was probably the best first day in school ever, eagerly awaited and joyously delivered by parents, teachers and children. It was such a big day. This school in Hawley in Surrey actually rolled out the red carpet for the full reopening of classes. Many children haven't been in school since before Christmas, so it's a step towards normality. But the head teacher at one Portsmouth primary says we must all remain on our guard. Steve Humphrey reports. So it's pile on in for primaries, but a more complex picture for older pupils. Secondaries don't just have bigger student numbers, they all have to be tested 3 times for COVID before starting lessons. And that takes organising. Many are staggering the return of year groups, including Swanmore College in Hampshire, where Matt Treacy observed proceedings. The other big change that takes effect today concerns care homes. A nominated relative can now go in to visit and hold hands with a loved one. It'll require a COVID test and plenty of PPE, and the care home has the final say on whether to let people in. Our health correspondent Alistair Fee has been to one home in Winchester that's keen to open its doors. The Hampshire family of Richard Ratcliffe, whose wife Nazanin has been held in Iran, have given a cautious welcome to developments over the weekend. Barbara Ratcliffe says Nazanin was delighted at being released from house arrest at the end of her sentence, despite the threat of further charges. Well, our political editor Peter Henley has been watching this unfold. So this family have been through so much. What's actually changed for them?
Well, I suppose to the extent that another diary date has come and gone without a flying home. Nothing.
Right, here's a stat for you. As it's International Women's Day, 3/4 of NHS staff are female. That's almost 1 million women. And one of them is Susie Jupp, who works at Poole Hospital. As a respiratory physiotherapist in critical care, she's had a full-on year. But far from putting her feet up when she gets home, Susie's part of the volunteer crew on the RNLI Poole inshore lifeboat. A little earlier, I asked her where she finds the time. Well, and from one woman doing impressive things to another, Anya Shrubsole, she puts us all to shame.
She is, yeah. Sport has a great deal to go, in terms of equality on International Women's Day, which is coming under the microscope today, isn't it? But certainly, good win for Brighton. Reading in action against Bristol City this evening. Lewis, thank you. Some mixed results there. Now, let's talk about wedding outfits. They cost a fortune. You only wear them once and then you stick them in a wardrobe. But now a wedding coordinator from Basingstoke has come up with a way to let them see daylight all over again and raise money for the homeless. Yes, weddings are literally bouncing back, as Simon Marks explains. That's such a good use of a dress that only gets one outing.
Upcycling, why not?
Yes, that's a good idea. I guess there are lots of uses of wedding dresses if you're creative.
Yes, absolutely.
How's the weather looking, Alexis?
Batten down the hatches, Anjana. We've got some very wet and windy weather on the way, but... Anjana.
Alexis, thank you. I'm glad I made the most of this weekend when the weather was genuinely very nice. Now, if you're watching us tomorrow, we're going to stay with the theme of impressive women. We're speaking to a team of local women who are rowing 2,700 miles from San Francisco to Hawaii. Don't miss it. We'll be back with the late news at 10:30. Thanks for watching.
Good night. That's impressive.